Super excited to be back here on Locked On Blue Devils. We've got another class of 2026 Duke football commit, Obinna Umeh. Learn the name, folks. He's a big-time addition to this class for Duke football. Obinna, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, Mr. JJ. I'm excited to be here. And just hit me with questions. I'm ready.
Yeah, well, I want to hear about this, man. It's been really cool to get to know the class of 2026. It feels like Duke is building something really, really special. And as I start with everybody, I just simply want to know, why Duke? Why did you commit to the program?
I think when I dumb it down, it was the intimacy of the school with the academics, right? With football being a big factor in my decision, I also knew what came first in my life, which was school, and how prestigious Duke was. That gravitated me towards that. And the reason why I chose it over a school like Stanford, so to speak, because it was the culture. The culture felt more like a family. It felt more like me, a place where I belonged. And I just knew that if I were to go here, I wouldn't wonder what if anywhere else. And being in Coach Diaz's offense, getting vertical, getting to the quarterback, that's where I wanted to be. And being coached by Coach Bauer, I couldn't ask for a better situation.
Without a doubt. I mean, so we look at the majority of these recruiting websites out there. You're listed 6'3", 225 on the defensive front out of Houston, Texas. So another Texas kid that's making his way to Durham. How did Duke get on your radar, Obinna? Do you remember the first contact that came through? Were you surprised? Was it a school that you wanted to hear from? Kind of tell us that timeline.
I think it was definitely later in my recruiting. Not like too late, but it was after I got Stanford and all the Ivies. And my first contact was with my head coach. He contacted me saying that Duke wanted my info. And next you know, I got Coach Bauer calling me. And,
That's awesome.
That's kind of how we got in contact. So it was probably like midway through back end of track season. And that's when we started getting in contact. And he called me and, filling me out with questions and just seeing where I was with my recruiting and where I wanted to be. And after talking to him, like, our decisions aligned with Duke. He loved my personality. I loved his. And then the next day I get the phone call from Coach Bauer, and he gave me the offer. And after Coach Diaz and the staff watched my film, they were ecstatic, and they wanted me to get down there for an unofficial. So that next week I went down there, and it was amazing. I mean,
that says a lot right there. I mean, it's less than a week that you received this offer, and it feels like you made it. I don't want to speak for you, but it feels like you made it a priority to get to campus, to go ahead and get up there to Durham to see Duke.
Yeah, I think it was after my initial conversation with Coach Bauer, right? I knew that he was different from other coaches, right? He didn't ask me the regular questions like my size, my weight. He wanted to get to know me as a man. And I think that spoke volumes to me from not just Coach Bauer, but the Duke coaching staff and what the culture they were trying to set. They weren't trying to get good football players, but they were trying to get good young men. And the fact that he saw that in me kind of gravitated me towards the program and made me want to play for a coach such as Coach Bauer. And that's when I knew that, dang, this is something I want to be a part of. This is a staff that they're on the right path, they're on the right trajectory, and this is pretty sweet gig. So,
what were your first impressions of Duke's campus once you got there?
It's so neat. Like, everything looks the exact same, but it doesn't. So just seeing that concept, and I love the what was it? The Coach K, like the camp outside.
Yeah, Shevskyville, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I love the stadium too. I love like the dome and the Devil's Den at the top. It's sick. Yeah.
It is. It's a great atmosphere, and these game days are going to be incredible with classes like this 2026 one coming up to kind of transform what we think of Duke football. So talking about the timeline, once again, you've got this unofficial visit. Tell me about the decision to ultimately commit and other visits that took place to get up there to Duke.
So I had 3 official visits set up: Duke, Michigan State, and Stanford. It wasn't too later. After my Duke visit, I canceled my Michigan State visit. And I kind of dumbed it down to those 3 schools because, one, I always wanted to go to Stanford. So it was kind of like my dream. So I was like, once I got the offer, I got it, and I was really happy.
Yeah.
Something fell off. I didn't feel like it wasn't what I imagined, and it was kind of like everything I imagined was at Duke. So I had to kind of accept that. And once I accepted that, that kind of realigned things for me. But I was like, we got 2 ACC schools with Duke and Stanford. Let's go see what else is out there. So wanted to go toward Big Ten school. But after going to Duke and seeing what it has to offer, I was like, I don't need to waste my time going to any other schools. So I need to go for what I want and not just go for like the reality of the official visits and the red carpet treatment. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. And so after canceling my Michigan State visit, I went on to Stanford, and it was awesome. It was everything I imagined and more, but something was lacking for me personally, and I think it was the intimacy of the academics and the school. It felt like Stanford football was its own different compartment, and then the school wasn't really behind it. But at Duke, it felt like the whole school was behind Duke football, and what came of Duke football was Duke University. And what came at Stanford football was just Stanford. Like there's just Stanford football and nothing to back. And that kind of showed in dividends over the years. Like I did my research. I mean, Duke has won 26 games over the last 3 years, top 3 in the ACC in every defensive category. And Stanford's back end bar. Stanford's won 9 games over the last 3 years. And I know the program's on different paths right now, but it just spoke so much volumes to me. And I was like, man, I think Stanford was my dream, but I think Duke is my calling, you know?
Yeah, that's well put, man. And we're certainly happy that you'll be playing football for Duke. So on that official visit, you got the chance to meet some fellow recruits and other guys in the class as well. How big of a factor was that? How big of a factor? What you've mentioned the coaches, but teammates are just as big of the equation here. What was it like getting to know some of those guys, and how much of a factor did they play in your decision?
No, like I'll go off my 26 teammates. CJ, CJ Givers?
Yep.
Yeah, we were talking the whole official visit, and we were just talking together, and we were together most of the time. And we were to say, like, there's something about this school that makes you want to, like, be a part of it. Like, I think it was the prestige of playing high-level football, also getting a high-level education. You just felt like you were the coolest guy in the room. And I think that aspect and seeing how happy the players were, like the players that were actually there, that were playing.
Yeah.
Like they wanted to play for Coach Diaz. Like they wanted to be coached by the position coaches and the strength coaches. They were awesome. Like I said, the strength program gravitated me more towards the program because I was like, hey, look, if I make it to the NFL or not, I want to be the best athlete I can possibly be out of this process. And I knew that if I go to this Duke program, they were going to push me to limits that I didn't even know I had. And so I think that's mostly why I was like, hey, this is the place I want to be because, one, I can become the best athlete I can be, pursue an elite degree, and also have fun because it's Duke. Yeah. And being around the like-minded individuals that were happy to be there. And I could tell, like, Wes Williams and VJ, they were my host, and Bryce Davis. Like, they loved it. And them being transparent with me and saying, like, hey, look, school wasn't easy, but it was a work-hard, play-hard mentality. And I think when they said – when they would do well, it all just felt so rewarding because all the hard work they would put in.
I love you already mentioning players on the current team. I love you talking about the weight room, right? It's hard not to be motivated when it's Coach Feely that's getting you fired up.
Yeah,
he can motivate anybody.
Right.
And so it's so excited to kind of see what that looks like for you in your college career. All right, so Duke football fans that may have never watched you play before, what would you tell them about your playing style? When people turn on the highlights, what are they going to see?
One, you're going to see effort, reckless abandon. And I would say, like, my speed. I'm going to have the fastest get off. I'm going to be first one off the ball every single time. And you're just always going to see me running to the ball. Like, if it's the plays across the field or it's a play to my sideline, I'm going 110%, and no one's getting past me. That's how I play. That's my mentality. I kind of have a no retreat, no surrender kind of mentality when I play football. And so it's like whatever's in front of me, like I know that I'm better than you and you didn't work harder than me because I trust my work. I trust my preparation. And I kind of go into the football aspect with a no fear mindset because I know what I've put in. I know what I've done to get here. My preparation, I trust my coaches. And so, yeah, you're going to see me playing my tail off and me getting to the ball, and I play fast. So, yeah.
All of that's so cool to hear, man. I'm excited to kind of see that translate to the ACC and big time plays inside Wallace Wade Stadium. I mentioned your Texas roots. There are a couple of Texas players already on this Duke roster. Sean Stover's a Texas kid that's in this Duke class on the offensive line. How has playing high school football in Texas prepared you for the next level?
Wow. I would say it's definitely molded me to go against good on good competition every single day. Because, being in Texas, I mean, you're going to see top talent in the country every week, week in to week out. And so I think kind of being used to that ever since Little League and up to now, it's going to help me transition easier to college because I've been playing against high-level talent all my life.
No doubt.
It's kind of made me a better football player and a better athlete because since you're playing such a high level, you're kind of forced to match that, or you're going to get left behind. So that pushes me and made me a better athlete. So, yeah.
Everything's bigger in Texas, including high school football, and there's a reason you guys have so much success once you get to the college level, without a doubt. Tell me about your family. What type of an impact has your family been on your life, but then also in this journey, man? I mean, deciding where you're going to play college football is definitely a big decision, and I know your family was a big part of that.
Yeah. So I'm Nigerian, as someone might could tell by my name, and my family played a big role in my decision. Growing up, my mom and my dad, they've instilled education in me since I was very young. And as I know, I'm going to put the helmet down someday. I kind of went big into my decision, and I knew that this opportunity, and so did my head coach when we were talking about it, Coach Davis, is that I knew this opportunity that arose for me was bigger than just football. And I could get an elite degree and pursue my dream of becoming a doctor to kind of propel myself and put myself in the best situation to not just having the best college experience, but also play the game I love. And so with growing up, I went to private school my whole life, St. Thomas More, preschool through 8th grade. Then I went to St. Thomas now. And so just being in private education my whole life and facing rigorous academics, I didn't want to cut that short when I get to college. So I knew that I had to keep that standing of elite education. And that kind of helped my parents kind of make my decision between Duke and Stanford and be in line with me and support me no matter what. And so with my siblings too, like they were saying, like, Duke or Stanford is so you, like, you can't win in this. I mean, you can't lose in this situation. Like, it's a win. And so just going into that and knowing what I'm going to get out of this and keeping my focus where it needs to be, I think that kind of played a big role in my decision. And my Nigerian culture and kind of like, it's in my blood to work hard. All right, I'm gonna work my tail off wherever I go, and I'm taking advantage of the opportunity that God has blessed me with and the gifts that He's blessed me with. So going to Duke is nothing but a blessing, and I'm gonna use it to the best of my ability.
Well said, man. You're firing us up. We're ready for football season to be here and for you to enjoy your last senior season of high school, and then you get to start the college journey as well. What's that final message you want to say for Duke football fans out there? A vision for the future, what this 2026 class is going to bring? How do you want to leave things here with Duke football people?
Well, with Coach Diaz's staff coming in, there's a new president coming, and there's a new standard that's obviously been instilled over the years and taking place now. So I can tell you this, when my class gets here and the class that is playing now, there will be a new standard that will be set and a new culture. We will win. We're going to win. Championships will be won, and Duke football will be back on the big stage. And it's going to be fun. So we're going to hop on this boat because it's sailing.
Yeah, I'm on the boat with you, man, and I want more people to join us there as well. So, Obinna, thank you for being here on the show today. Tell Duke fans where they can follow you. Plug your social media and how people can tap in.
Okay, yeah, for sure. My Instagram is at Obinna Umeh_. So my Twitter at Obinna Umeh_. And Mr. Jackson, can you tag that in the bottom?
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be sure to tag it for people to be able to follow along. So thanks for being here, man. We'll do this again soon, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
Obinna Umeh being here with me on Locked On Blue Devils. How impressive is that young man? Really enjoyed the conversation there with Obinna Umeh and what he's going to be able to bring to the defensive front for Duke football. When you're talking about someone making a life decision, choosing between Duke in Stanford, that's the type of person that's set up for success, and really excited for Obinna to be a part of the Duke football squad. Today's show was brought to you by our friends over at Gametime. If you're looking for places to get those last-minute tickets to sporting events or concerts, I can think of no better place than Gametime. It makes getting tickets faster and easier than ever. Prices actually go down the closer to the event that it gets, and you could save up to 60% off with their killer last-minute deals. Are you tired of endless scrolling, trying to find the best deal? Well, Gametime's zone deals pick the best seats in your section for you. And if you ever wonder what your seat view will look like before you buy, well, the app has a panoramic view, so there's no surprises. You know what to expect walking in. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create that account, redeem code LOCKEDONCollege, LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Gametime is a proud sponsor of Locked On Blue Devils. That does it for our show here today. Thanks again to Obinna Umeh for joining me here to talk about his decision to commit to Duke football in the class of 2026. As always, go Duke. I'll talk to you soon. My name is JJ Jackson. Thank you and good day.